Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 25. My name is Jason Erpeling. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here along with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and BuyandSellDVC.com.
Today is July 28, 2021. The 11-month window is June 28, 2022. And the 7-month window is February 28, 2022. Our marketing director just wants me to mention the social media that we have going on. Of course, Buy and Sell has a Facebook page. We also have a Facebook group, and we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. And what about DVC-Rental?
Don't forget we're also on YouTube, which
YouTube,
might be watching this on right now.
Yeah, but that you know.
And then on DVC-Rental, we've got the same thing on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then we also have our TikTok page, which is just called DVC Scott, which is me. But again, that's both companies, but we're on TikTok, so if you want to watch me dancing and doing crazy stuff, which I don't do on TikTok, it's just mostly videos of the resorts, videos around Disney. It's all Disney related. You don't have to worry about finding me dancing, so no worries about that.
We might have to, you better check it out though, to see if anything's on there.
Maybe I'll do one dancing video just to mess with people and see if they catch it.
There you go. So we're going to go into a bass fishing excursion that Scott participated in at Disney, and we want to hear all about it, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. There was a big group that came down. It's the WDW Review, which we're good friends with the guys who run that, and they have a Facebook page called EDCOT, E-D-C-O-T, and everybody in that group's become like family. And about 70 people came down for this like group family vacation. And Jason was here. We actually had a barbecue as well with like around 45 people, which was a little crazy. But 5 of us went out and did this bass fishing excursion. It left at 7 o'clock in the morning from behind the Contemporary. It was $450 for 5 people, so it was $90 per person to go fishing. We're using live bait. Also, lures and worms and stuff were able to be used. It was all provided by Disney. They provided drinks for us, waters, sodas, like Powerades. One thing that we were not thrilled with is that in the conversations that we had with Disney and on their page, it said that snacks would be provided, and they didn't provide any snacks. And not a huge deal, but you're out for 4 hours, it's early. Had we known, we would have brought some snacks with us because you're getting a little bit hungry. Again, not a big thing, but you should know that even though Disney does say that they provide snacks, no snacks were provided. But had a great time fishing. Each of us caught between 5 and 7 bass. I happened to catch 6. I had some smaller ones, probably all like a pound and a half. There was a couple, maybe 3-pounders that were caught. Nothing gigantic, but nice sized bass. And I mean, I would highly recommend it to anybody who's going. You start behind Bay Lake.
So one question right there. So I'm assuming that you were not staying on property?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So when did you park at Bay Lake or Contemporary?
Yeah, we parked at Contemporary. I drove in the morning and just said, I'm doing the fishing excursion. They wrote down my license plate number and just said, go park by the Contemporary.
They probably recognize you from TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. They watched my TikTok videos of dancing and stuff.
So then you went back there and there's like a meeting place?
Well, yeah, I mean, the group just said like meet by right before the boats, and we did that. What was funny is actually I was going to walk. I'd never done the fishing excursion before, and I was like, I think the marina, I could just go right through the Contemporary lobby. So I start walking to go through the lobby, and I run into a cast member. I'm like, I'm trying to get to the marina. Can I just go through the lobby? She's like, no, you have to walk back towards Bay Lake Tower and circle around. So I had to stop, turn around, and kind of like walk all the way around just to find out I very easily could have gone through the lobby. Everybody else had gone through the lobby. So it just added a couple minutes. But the lady who worked there didn't realize I could get to the marina just walking, the 80 feet through the lobby. But yeah, we left right at Bay Lake. We fished in Bay Lake. And then we went over to the Seven Seas Lagoon. We were fishing by the Polynesian, Grand Floridian, not in front of Magic Kingdom. We weren't doing too much fishing right there, but one of our guys caught a fish and we drove over just to take a picture of us holding up the fish in front of the castle.
So sorry. So back to the beginning, like if you're a newbie, can you still do this excursion with no problems? Okay.
Yeah, anybody can do it. I mean, all of us had been fishing a bunch of times. Two of the guys are a lot, actually, I should say three of them are like much bigger fishermen. They go, several times a year, where one guy owns his own boat and does tournaments and stuff. So we two guys who, fish, once a year, once every 2-3 years, and everybody else goes a little more often, but anybody can go, kids can go. They have life jackets for any children as well.
And all the rods are set up.
Oh yeah, everything's set up. They do everything for you. We got on the boat, everything was rigged up. If you want, you could put, if you're using the live bait, you could put your own bait on, or the guide will put it on for you. Or if you catch a fish, you can hold it. They'll take the hook out if you prefer. They'll do anything if you're not comfortable with it. Somebody does this all the time. I mean, it's very easy for you, I'm sure. But I mean, there's a lot of people who don't want to be taking the hook out of the fish's mouth or putting the bait on. So they'll take care of everything for you. And our guide was named David. He's been doing it for 14 years. He's originally from Tennessee. Learned a little bit about him. Seemed like a really nice guy. Pointed out that for like the first time ever, there's a lot of spots open. So he said, he joked with us, if any of you guys are looking for a job, they're hiring. And a couple of the guys on our boat's eyes got really big when they heard that there's a chance they could move down here and come do fishing excursions all day.
So just for those that are not familiar with bass fishing, so did you fish with the shiners and the worms? Okay, so when you're fishing with the shiners, just to give a newbie an idea, or maybe there's some kids out there that might want to do this excursion. When the fish takes the shiner, what is it? Do you set the hook right away? Let them take it a little bit, or what would you?
I'm not professional. I let them take it a little bit, and then you try to hook them without trying to sound nice. You gotta hook the fish. But it's all catch and release. But you let them take the shiner. There's no real weights on there or anything that you're using. So you just kind of like toss it out there. So a lot of times you're just watching the little fish swim, or you're watching little like sunnies chase after the fish. You're yelling at the sunnies to leave your fish alone, because you're not trying to catch a sunny. You're trying to catch a much bigger bass. But it was, again, a lot of fun. We started out with all the live bait, and then we'd hit certain sections, and the guide would suggest, hey, why don't we switch to some worms here? I guess they know that this area, the worms happen to perform a little bit better. And I mean, Jason's a much bigger fisherman than me. So when I came back, Jason had tons of questions for me about what type of rigs we were using, the wacky worms, and what this style. And I mean, actually, why don't you show some of the stuff? Jason brought stuff to show.
Well, because he mentioned that they were doing some wacky rigs. So, basically, did you guys have O-rings on your worms?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So that's just a couple of O-rings on the worm. You can set the hook through the O-rings, and then you cast it out, and it falls down like this. A lot of times the bass will hit it when it's falling down. Then you can twitch it up, and then it falls down again. I'm assuming that's what you guys are doing.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Or you can hook it like this.
So we've become a fishing show now. So we're going to expand. You'll find us on ESPN next week.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where people come to Disney and they think, oh, I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom for 3 days. But, you have a chance, especially like you say, there's a lot of people that only fish maybe, 1 or 2 times a year. So all of a sudden, you have a family of 4, 2 kids, 8 and 10, and you can go on this excursion, and, they can, and then, before the show, you did also mention that they took you to parts where it seemed like you were like in the Everglades or something.
Oh yeah, exactly. A lot of times you did not feel you were at Disney at all. We were going these little like back routes where there's just reeds up everywhere, and the boat's coasting and like pushing the reeds aside, and there's all, stumps and trees falling over with the Spanish moss hanging. I mean, you did not feel like you were at Disney. I mean, I was just enjoying the scenery of going through like these little back areas on Disney property. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't mention earlier, it's a 4-hour excursion, which is really nice. So it's 7 a.m. By 11 o'clock, when it starts getting hotter, the excursion ends. They have an afternoon one. If you're able to, I would highly recommend doing the morning one, though. Yeah, a lot cooler.
Especially in the summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, especially in the summer.
Because that's also when, to me, the bite's better in the morning as well.
See, he knows that. I wasn't sure. I figured maybe the bass were hitting their snooze alarms and they weren't getting up yet. But no, we did pretty well. The guide had said sometimes, you just hit it and they're doing really well. He said other times there have been excursions where they don't catch anything. So, I mean, again, between our boat, we caught over 30 fish and technically a soft shell turtle, which was easily hook removed and let go, and everybody's perfectly fine. It's all catch and release. But I mean, you weren't constantly hitting, but at any 5-minute span, somebody had a fish pretty much almost. I mean, It was pretty busy and a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
And I mean, for those that, I mean, bass fishing in Florida, I mean, they're really, it's it's sport fishing. I mean, there's plenty of bass. You're catching them, you're taking a picture, releasing them. Everything's fine. Most people, don't eat bass. I'm assuming there's some people that do, that maybe watch this comment that they do, but I'm just saying most people don't. So I mean, it's a fun activity. Florida promotes it a lot. They put fish in different lakes where they tag them, and if you catch that fish, you get prize money, things like that. So it's big in Florida, and like he says, like that guide's been there for 14 years. That's not just a position that comes and goes. I mean, they run bass fishing trips, all the time. So
yeah, I'm sure there's people watching this show right now who are going, "Oh yeah, I could get paid to drive around Disney property in a boat and go fishing." And the guy didn't do a lot of fishing, but he probably he just threw in probably for a couple minutes or so just to have some fun. I think maybe other guides maybe will fish a little longer with you, but I mean, as a Disney job, that's a fun job. Driving a boat is just fun to begin with, and then when you're taking people out bass fishing, that's a pretty sweet job to have on Disney property. You're sitting there, you can relax and just drive around and go fishing. That's pretty sweet.
But so the one key thing though that you want to remember if you book this excursion, bring snacks.
Bring snacks, bring sunscreen, and again, I said make sure you stay hydrated. They'll provide drinks for you, but stay hydrated because it can get hot out there. But it's a small like pontoon boat. It does have a canopy to help give you some sort of shade. But, again, it can get hot, so just protect yourself. It is Florida.
Sounds great. That sounds like a fun trip. Now we are on to Scott's food review. I don't think he ate his fish that he caught, so let's see what he has this week.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So for today's food review, and this is going to expand over possibly the next few weeks, was we finally got into Gideon's at Disney Springs. Are you familiar with Gideon's?
I am not.
So much. It's a bake shop there, cookies and cakes and stuff. A lot of times when you show up, there's 3-4 hour waits, and they have a virtual queue. And the last couple times I've gone there, like before going to dinner, put our names in the virtual queue, and they said it's a 3 hour plus wait to come back. So we've never actually been able to come back. We went there last week, and it was a 45-minute wait in the virtual queue. Called back, it was earlier in the morning. And I'm trying to think the best way to say it. We probably came back in line. They told us it was going to be a 15-minute wait. It was about 45 minutes when we got back in there. That wasn't so great. But inside, it's like an apothecary. Everything is really dark. It's like, I can't explain it. Really cool pictures on the wall, different stuff, like little like hand drawings of like creepy things, almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas type look. So, I mean, really like Nightmare Before Christmas mixed with Harry Potter. And they sell these big cookies, and we've got 3 different kinds. The first one we're gonna talk about is I got the peanut butter crunch cookie. Now, I'm gonna start from the lowest rank cookie to eventually get to the highest rank. It might take a couple weeks because I'm gonna try to pepper it around a little bit because I can't give you all of the information right now. But each cookie is about a half-pound cookie. It's peanut butter cookie with the whole top is covered with peanut morsels, peanut butter morsels on top of it. And it's got a saltiness and a crisp bite to whatever they put in it. So it's crunchy, salty. This was our least favorite, and it gets a 7.4.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
It's a good cookie.
Because I hear the words peanut butter crunch cookie. I mean, that sounds amazing.
I love peanut butter. I think it was just all peanut butter. There wasn't like a difference in taste. Like a lot of the other cookies, they mix different things. This was just a lot of peanut butter. And again, it's a 7.4. This was a solid cookie. This was our least favorite because the other ones were even better.
So let me ask you this. So is this a cookie that you say it's a half pound? So that is shared with...
It's a big cookie. Oh, it was myself, my wife, and our niece was with us. We each tried a little bit of the cookie, and we ended up bringing it home still. So,
okay.
I mean, a lot of people, you see them on Facebook, it's a week later, they're like, I'm still eating my cookies. I mean, it would be really hard to eat a whole cookie by yourself, probably.
Okay.
They're $6 a piece, which is a lot for a cookie, but for Disney property, that's about to be expected. And I mean...
And it's easy to share or cut it up, or?
Oh yeah, it's easy to share. I mean, and it's probably about that thick in the middle. So it's a big cookie, but very good, 7.4, and that was the least favorite. So there's some definitely good stuff coming with Gideon's. So we got two other cookies, as well as a slice of their cake. And we also got a drink from them, which we'll be doing in later episodes as well. So we got a bunch of stuff. And also they sell merchandise too. And we got my niece it's a gargoyle shirt, a Pride gargoyle shirt that they sold as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they have their own merchandise too, which was really cool.
So is there a secret to get into this place? Or
There's no secret. You just
no secret?
show up early in the morning.
Okay.
But before it gets busy there. When we walked into Disney Springs, there was barely anybody around, and we walked straight to Gideon's. And at that point, there was already a 45-minute
So when
wait.
you say early in the morning, are we talking like...
It wasn't that early. This was during the week, and it was probably 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So, I mean, it's not like, we're getting there like as soon as they open. But, I mean, it's relatively early, and it's during the week, and there was still a 45-minute virtual queue to come back. But it's one of those things that the queue's the only really detriment to it. That's the rough part is waiting in that line or waiting outside. And one thing I'll point out, Gideon's, if you're paying attention, you really need some shade. You're just waiting along the side, on the sidewalk there in the heat, and there's zero shade at all. They really need to put some umbrellas or a canopy or something up because you're just standing there for a long time and there's just no coverage at all.
Oh my.
But really good cookie, really enjoyed Gideon's, and we'll be coming back for more.
Really good cookie, 7.4.
$6 cookie.
Shareable.
About a half-pound cookie, so it's... And if you see the pictures, and you'll see the picture that we shared in the thing, I mean, the outside of all the cookies are just covered with chocolate chips or peanut butter chips. I mean, like, there's no spot where you don't see peanut butter or chocolate. I mean, it's expensive, but they really put a lot of ingredients in there. With Disney stuff, it's expensive, and it could leave you a little bit lacking. This thing, you go, okay, you don't feel bad paying $6 for it because you go, I see the ingredients. There's a lot of stuff in here. Obviously they're making money on it, but they're putting in a lot of effort, and it's very impressive.
Sounds great. So I just want to touch on a little bit on the resale side. For some reason lately, I've been getting a lot of the same questions. So I don't know if it's out there in a different Facebook group or a discussion board, but let's say you make an offer on a property, and you and the seller come to an agreement, and you decide how much you want to put down. Normally a down payment is going to be between $1,500 and $2,500. The closing company will let you charge up to $2,500 on a credit card. So a lot of times the buyers, they choose that max amount of money that they can put on the credit card. And then lately, people ask, what is that down payment? Where does that go? Is that deducted from the price? And yes, I mean, 100%. I mean, you have an overall, you have a purchase price per point. If you're buying 100 points and it's $100 a point, and then you have closing costs, and then you have annual dues on the points you're getting for the current year. In this case, it'd be 2021. So you have an overall, those three things equal your total cost. You decide to put $2,500 down, then you have a remaining balance. And when you receive your closing documents, 7 weeks later, it's going to have a breakdown of everything. It's going to have your debit and your credit and your purchase price. And yeah, that's just applied towards your overall purchase, and then you have the remaining balance. So it's not money that goes to buy and sell DVC. And the other question I get is, if your property is bought back, what happens to your deposit? The deposit's 100% refundable to you. So if your property's bought back, we'll send you an email and say, unfortunately, Disney just let us know that said they decided to buy this property back. You can of course look for another property. Maybe there's something similar on the market that you purchased and you want to go ahead and try that property. Then you just apply that deposit towards that purchase. But if you can't find something at that moment that you want, and let's say you charged it to your credit card and you say, Jason, just have my money refunded to me. We'll instruct the closing company, and then they'll issue a refund. I can't emphasize this enough. If you go to buy a property, put a down payment down, Disney buys the property back, you're refunded 100% of your money. There's nothing that's, the only thing, time, but...
You've lost time, that's it. There's no cost to you at all.
Yeah, there's no cost. There's zero cost. And as far as, what Disney buys back, like, like most times, like let's say you're looking at a small point listing. Well, small point listings sell at a premium price per point because there's more people looking to add on, say, 25 points than there is looking to get in at the 400 point level. So the price per point on those are higher. So a lot of times if you're buying a small point property, just simply because of supply and demand, those are never going to get bought back. But if you start looking at a property that's, let's just say it's a 400 point Saratoga Springs, it has no points until 12/1/22. So number one, there's not a lot of people looking to get in at the 400 point level. There's not a lot of people that want to wait that long for points. So that listing may receive more offers than a listing with banked points or a smaller point listing. And then that's where the price sometimes gets down low enough to where Disney's going to buy it back. But of course, and also buyers, some buyers are more aggressive than other buyers. So I say, hey, you're making this offer, be advised if the seller were to accept it, there's a chance that, and again, I can never guarantee that Disney's going to buy it back or not buy it back. I just say, hey, based on previous history, Disney may buy this property back. And the buyers, a lot of times they'll say, I'm aware of that, I still want to make the offer. So, but again, I just want to say, your down payment goes towards your purchase. It's deducted from everything at closing. And if the property is bought back, you're refunded 100% of your money. There's no money lost if the property is bought back. So I just wanted to add that real quick.
Good points.
Anything else you want to say? Or
I just want to thank everybody for watching Jason and Scott's fishing channel. We appreciate it. So you didn't think we were going to be talking about wacky worms and rigs and everything today, but that's the route we went down. But lots of stuff to do at Disney, even if you're not doing just park stuff.
Right, and it's not. And people may not know that. It's a professional guide bass fishing experience. It's not. It's not. It's like
it's not your uncle just taking you out on the boat.
Right.
This is a guy who's been doing this and trained and knows what he's doing, knows where the fish kind of hang out and everything. And it's
this isn't Disney just saying, well, let's try this, see if it works. No, Disney hires professionals. They had everything set up so you would have a wonderful experience if you did that. You do the fishing, then make sure you go early in the morning to get the what's it called, peanut butter crunch cookie.
Yes.
And then after that, you get back in the afternoon. You can go ahead and submit an offer and buy and sell. Let us know how much you want to put down for a down payment, and you've had a wonderful day.
Go to Gideon's the day beforehand to get the cookie so that way you can bring it with you because they're not going to give you any snacks.
Sounds perfect. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. We would appreciate it.
Thank you so much and have a great day.